What is up, guys? Welcome back to Cozy Talks. We're done with UFC 326. We are here for the recap. Gonna go over all the fights with you guys, give you all the things that went right, all the things that went wrong, talk about maybe some of the bets that one of us may have hit and one of us may have almost hit. But Z, how you feeling about the card overall? Give me your rating 1 through 10. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, Charles won,
Well, well,
but
we're,
at
we'll we'll
but
get
at
there. We'll get there.
but at one cost.
uh,
Anyways, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. Um, you know, the main event or the main card tonight was pretty good. It was pretty good in my opinion compared to the rest of the card. The rest of
yeah,
the card was honestly fucking dog shit. I am not gonna hold back. I am not gonna be fucking nice.
you're
I'm not gonna
soft.
sugarcoat it. I am going to be 100% honest and completely fucking
Ugh.
blunt. But yeah, I mean, let's get into it, Joe. Let's start ripping through this and
Yeah,
give you beautiful people our opinion on the fights that took place. I'm just gonna come out and fucking say it. I'm gonna come out and fucking say it. These first two fights of the night, because we
we
could
were dead
just
wrong.
cover we could
Keep
because
it a buck. We were wrong.
we could just cover both of these fights at
That
the
is that
same
that is
exact
pretty
time.
true, yeah.
At the same exact time. This is clearly, we were wrong. We were completely wrong, first of all, exactly like what Joe said.
Keep it a buck.
But this right here just clearly shows you it doesn't matter if you have a dude who has been in the UFC and has had a few losses. He
Yeah.
has that UFC experience over somebody who was just fresh. I mean, Luke Fernandez. Okay, let's start with the first one. Luke
Yeah,
Fernandez
we'll work our way
versus
up.
Rodolfo Bellato. Luke Fernandez looked great. He looked great in the first minute of the first round,
Yeah.
but I honestly believe in exactly what the commentators had said when it had happened, when he had gotten knocked out by Bellato. Luke Fernandez had gone way too comfortable. He got
Mm.
way too comfortable in there because he was landing. He
Mhm.
was landing pretty good. He was throwing some clean combos in that fight. You know, he was catching Bellato where he needed to catch him, but as soon as they got into the pocket, it seemed like Luke Fernandez got really too fucking comfortable, and Bellato caught him with a counter and
Mhm.
dropped him bad,
Mhm.
bad,
Yep, right on the
and
point of
finished
the
the fight.
chin. Right on the point of the chin, it's all it takes to fucking drop anybody, and got
Yeah,
dropped, and then it was just yeah, it was over from there. So, that was it for that. I mean, 6-1 versus a guy who's been in the UFC for a hot minute. It's one of those other things we were talking about, just experience. Uh, Clearly, Rodolfo Bellato has a fucking concrete head, and, he took some clean shots and didn't phase him as much as it phased Luke Fernandez. This fight just sucked, bro. This was probably one of the worst fights. Rafael Tobias, elite BJJ specialist, and could not fucking get anything going as DR, who clearly lacks a ground game. Almost got Suliv stretched in the last like 10 seconds of the third round. And yeah, I mean, it was a really weird one-sided fight. Uh, just total dominance from DR, it felt like. I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's not much to say here. I mean, a good win for DR. It's his first win in the UFC. Tobias in his, you know, debut fight for UFC, pretty rough. Um, Not so much the experience here because he has more fights than DR. I mean, but it's just like just disappointing. For sure disappointing. Because you have a clear advantage where this guy has a clear struggle and you can't implement that game plan whatsoever. It's pretty disheartening, you know?
yeah. This one it goes into exactly like what we were talking about with the first fight. This right here showed experience. This one right here 100% showed experience, regardless if Tobias was, what is that, 14-2? I can't really see your screen
Do
because
you want me
it's a little.
do I need to zoom in a little more?
Is it? Oh yeah, that's 14-2. Yeah,
That's a little
Tobias
better.
14 or 14-1 going into this fight against Dair. You would think going into this fight he would have a little bit more oomph, a little bit more fucking pop to his step when he's fighting against somebody who is who's been in the octagon a few more times than he has.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And exactly like Joe Rogan said off the get go, Dair looked like he was the more fluid fighter. He was the more he Dair had more flow in his striking compared to Bias.
Yeah, there's clear
And
advantage.
it was exactly like they were talking about. Tobias was waiting to set up that one and done shot, or that one that will get you dropped, and then he gets on top of you and implements his ground game. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, Dair went in there, he set the pace, and that was pretty much it.
Mhm. Yeah. Moving up to the rest of the early prelims, Sumadarji versus Jesus Aguilar. Beginning of the week, I was on Jesus Aguilar. I fucked up with my Tapology and did not swap my Tapology pick because I had Jesus still on my Tapology. But I swapped to Sumadarji on the Friday show. I talked about it then. And yeah, this was a pretty dominant performance out of Sumadarji. I was very impressed with what I saw. He's a big flyweight. He's 5'8", and he has very like high level skills when it comes to like kicking. His kickboxing is pretty good, and that was his biggest asset in this fight against Jesus Aguilar because Jesus Aguilar wanted to get in, he wanted to try and grapple, and every time he threw, he was overextending and he was getting caught, and it was just a problem. I mean, the takedowns you can just see right there. Every time Jesus came in to crash with him, Simudeji would either like hip toss him or he would do some sort of throw and end up in the top position every single time that
Yeah,
Jesus tried to initiate a takedown.
yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, it was a great advantage for Sumidaji, and now he's talking about I forget what they said. I was watching I saw a clip for the fight conference, and he was saying he wanted to fight. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I don't know if you saw it or not, but he said he wanted to fight someone, and it was kind of a decent name. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But anyway, if you guys know it, you can just put it in the comments because I forgot what it was. But yeah, it was a good performance for Sumidaji. He's obviously going to be getting really close to the rankings off of this win. It's a big win. So yeah, we'll see what it is. Maybe it was someone in the rankings. I honestly have to go look. But yeah, moving on to the next fight. Um, yeah, this one,
Yeah, I
this
had
you go ahead, go ahead.
I had yeah, I had Cody Durden in this one. I mean, Cody Durden, he looked like he was in this fight, but this I'm not even gonna try to say his name.
The
I didn't
Mongolian.
try it. Yeah, I didn't try it in our previous videos, but yeah, the Mongolian guy, he he just got the better of it out of every single attempt that Cody Durden try to take over this fight. The Mongolian guy just I hate saying that. I'm sorry. I hate saying that. But yeah,
Tumen
the
Debril is how
Mongolian
you
guy
say his last
Tu
name.
okay, thank you. Tumen Dedrol just got the better of it. I mean, Cody Durden he was going for those takedowns. He got was that 3 out of 5?
Yeah,
He
three out
got
three out of eight.
3 out of 8. I
Yeah,
mean, Cody Durden was hunting for that ground game, and Tumen Dedrol just shut him down.
yeah.
Um, every time Cody Durden went for the legs, Tumendedro would get on top. He
Hmm.
would reverse position. He would take top position, and he would just control Durden. There was one point though in the third round where Durden had locked up a choke on Tumendendro, but Tumendendro fucking rolled out of it and got out of it, and yeah, um,
Yeah, not much to be
I
impressed
don't,
with this
yeah,
fight. I mean, it kind of speaks for the rest of the prelims, but Tumen Derbel is a guy that came off Road to UFC, and the Road to UFC guys kind of have a track record of being pretty shit when they get to the UFC. So it was pretty good to see, a decent prospect come out. Granted, it's Cody Durden. Cody Durden hasn't had too great of a record in the UFC as of late. So I mean, it's a big win. It's a step in the right direction for Tumen Derbel going forward. He talked. That's who it was. They're trying to set up Sumaderji and Tumendebril. That's what it was. Fuck, I was trying to remember.
mm,
Um, but yeah, so I mean, it's a good fight. Both these guys are kind of in the same spot. I feel like you can get a little more out of Sumaderji because he's already on a bit of a win streak, and this is Tumendebril's first or second fight in the UFC. So I don't know. I mean, it's a good spot for both these guys. Both these guys kind of did the same shit. Dominated in different facets of the game. Moving on to the next fight. This was an okay fight, and by okay, I
I
mean it was
mean,
just a one-sided masterclass.
Yeah. I mean,
Another one we run opposite sides of again, Z, and
yeah,
yeah,
I did have Tercios. Tercios looked fucking huge at the start of this fight. He looked really big
it was his
over
debut.
Montez, but that was another thing was yeah, it was Montez's debut. Tercios had, you know, he's gone against a few guys who have some pretty fucking solid experience in the
Yeah,
UFC. I mean, he went up against a fucking 20-year-old Raul Rosas Jr. Um, but yeah, Montez though, bro, the way he wrapped up that submission,
instantly as soon as that encounter was
I
wrapped, man.
yeah, 100%. I feel like that's gonna work against some, you know, a couple other dudes who are up and coming, and
Mm.
then once he starts touching some dudes who have some real experience, I'm not sure how that choke is gonna
I
work out
mean,
for
even
him,
his
bro.
striking looked really fluid and clean.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good on the feet and on the ground. Um, but
He has some growth for sure.
yeah, I would want to see some growth there for Montez. I really do think Montez will be a problem though.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very interesting. Tercios, you know, this was his featherweight debut, and that was what his teammate Alex Moreno was talking about, is how he's looking good at featherweight. You know, he's looking conditioned, he was looking strong, uh, but he's just I don't know. He's just not built like some of these featherweights. Alberto Montez isn't like your ordinary for the featherweight though. He does have some muscle mass to him. He is one of the bigger guys for the featherweight, I would feel like, but he is perfect for the weight class. He would definitely would not be a guy that I would see ever getting the lightweight. So it was just a problem for Ricky Cercios. I mean, you're going against a guy that has better ground game than you, um, and just outclassed you on the feet. So it just is what it is. Next fight. Okay, all right. Before we get into it, Dante Johnson was a minus 800 at close, and he made Cody Brundage look like fucking like prime. I don't even know. He made him look good, and it was a fucking hard watch because we watched the second round go by, and I think it was about 3 or 4 minutes of just headlock control. Fucking Cody Brundage. Oh, prime Anthony Smith. Yes, there we go. Anthony Smith. Curl up in a ball and fucking just survive. Try not take any grounded damage, and, it was a tough watch. It was pretty rough, 'cause, yeah, Cody Brundage wasn't doing anything to try and inflict any sort of output damage-wise. He was just literally in there to just survive against a guy who clearly wanted to either choke him out or fucking I don't know. There wasn't much coming out on the other side of Dante either, which is kinda crazy. Um, you know, a few times he tried to rip that front head choke, but he just could not do anything. For it to say 0 sub attempts is kinda silly because he did try to rip a few times. Um, but yeah, not a fight I really care to talk about or really talk much about. I just think Cody Brundage is definitely done with the UFC. You know, you're fighting a Dante Johnson right now who looked very beatable. If it was anyone other than Cody Brundage, you might be seeing Dante Johnson get finished because he did not look very impressive whatsoever. There was not much to really glance at. He came out chin high and in a very bad stance. A guy that is easy to take down. Um, yeah, what do you got to add to it, Z?
I mean, this is one of the reasons why, and I mean, like, I'm not trying to discourage anybody or like trying to push anybody away, but like, this is one of the things that makes me upset with the UFC is because yes, I get it. You know, we have a dude who is a very talented prospect in Dante Johnson here. He
Mhm.
beats Dracus Dumas, but in reality, how do we compare Dracus Dumas to Cody Brundage here in this
Yeah,
matchup? How do we move forward from that Dante Johnson win over Dracus Dumas and give him a solid fucking journeyman and Cody Brundage? I mean,
and on
in
short notice too,
reality, in reality, yes, exactly. On short notice as well.
off of KO loss.
Anybody looking at this on paper would be like, holy shit, Dante Johnson is gonna go out there and absolutely fucking starch him.
Mhm.
But that's the thing with MMA is that there's just that little bit more of a reality check when the fight does actually happen you actually start to realize like, oh, yeah, this dude's coming off of a KO loss. He's coming off of the couch too to step in on this fight short notice. But at the end of the fucking day, he's a journeyman.
Mm.
He's been in there. He's done that. He's gone up against dudes who have that experience. Cody Brundage had that experience coming into this fight against a 7-0 Dante Johnson, and I mean, it showed. It showed. Dante Johnson got the decision win.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Not much to say going forward. I mean, Dante
but
Johnson
yeah,
hasn't proven anything. This isn't a
I
win
mean,
that
I
that
mean,
literally gets anyone, up out of their seats.
yes, yes, but like that's exactly what I'm saying is like, what do you expect? What do
Mm.
you expect when we try to? And this is the thing. This is another thing I wanted to add is why I'm getting turned off from the UFC now. Why I'm
Got to
being
get
why I'm
soft.
being why I'm like fuck watching UFC now is
It's getting
because
pretty sad.
why fuck the rankings. Fuck the rankings then. Fuck
Mm.
the rankings. Fuck the rankings. I am looking at you, our 5 viewers who will see this YouTube video. Fuck the rankings. If we're just going to get a young prospect who is coming off of a crazy record, who may have finished his last 4 fights, why are we going to push them forward to a top to a dude who's close to the top 15s? Why would we going to do that? Look at the first 2 fights of this night. We had Luke Fernandez and Rafael Tobias against 2 dudes who have shit records, but they have
Journeyman
the
though.
experience. They have the experience, exactly like Joe said. They're journeymen, though. Anyways, let's not take too much time on this fight.
Yeah, let's move
Let's
on.
move on to the next one.
Next
Cody
one,
Garbrandt,
boy.
Zhao Long.
Wow, what a weird fight. Um, yeah. How do we say this? So,
If I'll say this
okay,
real quick, Joe. I'll say this real quick. If Cody Garbrandt didn't get hit in the nuts for like 4 times in a row, he wouldn't have won this fight. Cody
y-
Garbrandt wouldn't have won this fight.
yeah,
Zhao Long threw it by hitting Cody Garbrandt in the nuts, and then literally not even 10 seconds later, after the fight continued, from Cody Garbrandt sitting out for a few minutes because he got hit in the fucking ball sack. Not even 10 seconds later, Zhao Long hits him in the nuts once again. And then what happens? What happens? Not even a minute after that, Zhao Long hits him in the nuts once again. So that resulted
oh
to Zhao Long getting 2 points reducted in the third round. In the third round,
yeah.
after you could argue Zhao Long was up 2-0 going into that third
You
round,
wouldn't you
or
wouldn't even need to
going.
argue it. It was pretty clear. It was 2-0 Zhao
Yeah,
Long.
yeah, yeah. You could argue. Yeah, you don't even have to argue that. Zhao Long was up 2-0, halfway point into
Yeah.
that third
What I
round
will
when he
what I
had
will
landed
add,
that last strike to his nuts.
yeah. What I will add is Zhao Long was up 2-0, and you could argue he won the third, minus the point reductions. He still outstruck Garbrandt and had more success on the feet, and that's where this fight
That's
took
the
place the whole
crazy.
time.
That's
Is
the
is
crazy
like
thing
everyone
as
was
well,
saying, everyone
bro.
on Twitter's blown up saying that they got this fight wrong because they're like, I'm not very good at math, but even if you take away 2 points, it's still 28 because he won a round 9-8. So it would be 28-27. And so
But
people on the
but
scorecards, they
mention
think they got it wrong, but
mention mention that vomiting shit real quick.
yeah, so go Garbrandt, the second time he got hit in the nuts, it was like it was a toe straight to the sack. Like it like dug under the cup, hit him in the sack, and he ended up vomiting into a fucking bucket.
So
And
so
there's a
hold
rule.
on.
Oh, you're gonna go
No,
ahead, Z. No,
oh, my fault, my fault, my fault. Let me
whatever.
before you explain the rule, let me break this down for you. The first time Zhao Long hit Cody Garbrandt, it was like one of those knees in the clinch where it was like just on the waistline, but it was close enough
He
to
did it
his
multiple
cup.
times too in
Yeah,
that
it was
clinch.
close enough. Exactly. It was close enough where they called the fight, And after that, the next one where Joe was talking about Cody Garbrandt threw up, this next kick was right on the fucking dick and balls. Was literally square level right on the
Mm,
fucking
yeah,
crotch. And yeah, Cody Garbrandt started fucking throwing up into a bucket.
yeah.
And what's the rule,
So
Joe?
so there's a rule in the rule book that the fight was technically supposed to be stopped, called to a medical stoppage, because if you vomit, piss yourself, or shit yourself, you are giving off some like, some like obviously like abnormal fluid inside the octagon. And it's like, it's just bad. It's not supposed to happen. We've seen people shit themselves, and I don't know what happened with the results of it. I mean, those are fights from like years ago. But yeah, you're technically supposed to stop the fight, is what the rule book says. So this is
Yeah,
another
because I mean,
thing
like,
that they
are
got
you?
wrong. And this was Herb Dean, and this was a vet
Yeah,
referee, and he didn't stop it. Was it Herb Dean, or was it
it was her Dean. But
yeah.
to be fair, the first shot landing on Cody Garbrandt, they were in the pocket. Imagine Garbrandt's right here. This is Yao Long. Herb Dean is over here. He's
Mhm.
over here, and Jiao Long lands a knee on this side, and he can't really see what's going on this side over here. So Herb Dean didn't really call it at first, but I'm actually pretty sure it was a punch, wasn't it? It was a was it or was that a different fight? Or was that a different fight?
I don't remember. But
I don't know. I
well,
don't know.
let's
There was a lot of fucking crotch punching and
he
shit,
is pretty
but
sloppy card.
over overall, in this fight, if Cody Garbrandt hadn't gotten those 2 points reduced in that
Would have been
fight,
been another
um,
loss.
it would have been another loss.
Yeah. I would say his current state, he has to be one of the worst bantamweights on the roster. I mean,
Way past his
without
prime.
Zhao Long throwing this fight for himself, Cody Garbrandt was unimpressive through those 2 rounds. I mean, 28 of 54 strikes through 3 rounds. You're telling me that deserves a win? That does not signal a win at all. You went 0 for 8 on takedowns. But sorry, let's move on, because this is a recap. We're not gonna get into too crazy tangents for you guys that are trying to see what happened here. So let's get into the main card. Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. Another fight. Mr. Z and myself were on opposite sides on. Z was on the side of Bruno Ferreira, which I will say he had some aura going for him when he did the whole clap when he was getting introduced. I thought that was pretty fire. And RoboCop's just RoboCop, big fucking massive thumb person with the fucking 8 pack, shredded to the gills. And look at the numbers, bro. Look at the total strikes. It literally
It's insane.
it literally took one punch for RoboCop to knock out Bruno Ferreira, and it was clean. It was one of the ones we just talked about earlier with like Lou Fernandez and Bellato. Just catch him on the chin, and it's enough to put someone out. And it put Bruno Ferreira fucking out. Not sleeping, but he definitely like lost consciousness when he hit the mat for a bit. And yeah, it's an impressive win for RoboCop. Both these guys were ranked. RoboCop's definitely getting another shot at the top 10. After coming off of his loss to Cannoneer for that top 10 attempt, now he gets another shot at it. And I don't think he called anyone out. I think he just said that he wants a top 10 shot. So I mean, anyone can get it. RoboCop looks dangerous.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
I mean,
know,
there's not really much to say. I
there was
mean, there's not
there
really
wasn't much to
much to
cover in
say
this
because
fight.
there's literally fucking four strikes
Yeah.
thrown in this whole fight.
What a
So,
crazy fight
I
to cover.
mean,
Like reading the numbers, you're like, damn.
there's he
A fight that has less
Rodriguez caught
strikes than the
him.
yeah, a fight that
He
has less
caught
strikes
him.
than
I
this is
mean,
like Masvidal and Askren.
I'm I missed out. I missed out on the Rodriguez round one knockout when he fought Jack Hermanson, and I thought in this one Bruno Ferreira was gonna get it done, but yeah, Rodriguez, all it took was one.
Got his get
He
back.
landed it. He landed it real clean on Ferreira when they were inside the pocket, kind of exchanging with each other, and Rodriguez just fucking just flush dropped him, and then that was it. Just
Yeah.
it like dropped him just enough where he's laying on the ground for for more than just a few seconds, and
Yeah.
at that point you have to call it. I mean, yeah, Ferrer stood right up, got up to his knees,
But he's
and
dazed.
he was just kind of like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
He was conscious, but Rodriguez put him out, and I bet on the wrong Brazilian.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Next fight. This is the Battle of the Unks. There was a bit of a worry going into this fight, on fight night tonight because of the betting line movement. It when we talked about it Tuesday, it was basically a pick 'em, and Michael Johnson was the favorite at open.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then literally, like, I don't remember when I saw it sometime during the prelims that Drew Dober ended the night at a minus 200 something favorite, and Johnson was like a plus 180. So there was some weird line movement. They took the lines down on BetMGM, so you couldn't even bet on it when this fight was rolling up. So it was a very weird thing happening because Michael Johnson was already part of a betting incident like that with, or well, suspected. They never came out and said anything about it, but it was the Alex Hernandez and Michael Johnson fight from a while ago that didn't happen, and this was the next fight for Michael Johnson. So it's kind of weird to see it happen again and another fight that he's part of after he's, been seen doing like partner things with like Bet Online and shit. So it's weird, but I mean he definitely didn't fake the knockout. Buddy got his fucking chin took. It was clean. I mean, this was a good fight. Dover was definitely at a speed disadvantage. Michael Johnson's striking was way fucking faster,
Yeah.
and that's what had me worried. I'm like, man, if Dober's not careful, he's gonna get his head taken off. But Dover just had the more power. And another time where, you catch the chin and your buddy's going out because this was one of those. And yeah, it was clean for sure. Dober keeps his streak. I'm not gonna say what the streak is, but I know the man has a white hood somewhere.
Yeah, I'll say it. Dober's keeping his streak of killing these minorities in the lightweight division,
Yeah,
and Michael Johnson was the next one on
he's
his
a
hit list.
victim.
I think the next one on his hit list is possibly Jalen Turner, but I think Jalen Turner
Ooh,
would take.
Jalen
I
Turner would
think Jalen
fucking
Turner.
smoke him.
Yeah, I think Jalen Turner would absolutely kill Drew Dober here.
That's fun though.
But before we get more into it, Michael Johnson did look very clean in this fight. He was landing very fast, very precise strikes on Drew Dober. But I mean, Drew Dober does what he does best, and he closes the distance. No matter what you're throwing at him, no matter what you're landing on his Roblox Minecraft ass head, Drew Dober just keeps walking you down. And Drew Dober walked down Michael Johnson and caught him right on the chin and dropped him. I mean, Drew Dober, he packs that power. You know,
Packs the heat.
if you can't get that 1-2 and out and circle around Jober and kind of pick him apart the way like Gene Silva did, then
And you got to mix it up a lot really well.
you have to mix it up a lot against Drew Dober, especially against a guy like Drew Dober who is very
Mhm.
durable, and no matter like I said, no matter what you throw at him, he'll just keep on walking you down. So I feel like that's what Michael Johnson had in his game plan was kind of just like pepper him, keep the distance, land these long distance shots, these long powerful shots.
Mhm.
But Drew Dober, he closed the distance, got in there. All it took was one clean one, dropped him, and that was it.
Yeah.
And this one, I did have Drew Dober, and it is crazy seeing that at the beginning of the week, Drew Dober was an underdog going into this fight.
Yeah,
But
if you got him on early lines, good for you.
yeah, good job.
Yeah. Before we move into the next fight, Z, after they had this fight, they talked about the UFC White House card and they did a reveal. We recorded a video for the UFC White House card reaction on TikTok, and thank you guys for everyone who's watched it and supported it. That thing's at like 1,000 views right now, just so you know. That thing blew up. Uh, so thank you guys. Go ahead and drop a follow while you're there, and so we can talk about that real quick. Just talk about just go like a little like quick talk over the card and how we felt
All right
about
then,
it.
guys. If
Terrible.
you
That's how
are
I feel.
like
Like,
if you are one of the very loved few who are watching our videos, again, I appreciate you. Joe appreciates you. We
oh yeah,
both appreciate you. If you're one of the guys who are watching our videos, why the fuck is Bo Nickel on the main card? Why the fuck is he on the White House card? Why the
why
fuck
is
are we
Kyle
getting
Dawkins
Sean?
on it, bro?
Why is Kyle Dawkins on it? Exactly. Why are we getting Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins? Why are we getting Sean O'Malley versus Eamon Zahabi? Why are we getting fucking Diego Lopez
Steve
versus
Garcia.
Steve Garcia, ranked 9 after Diego Lopez just knocked out Gene Silva and went to back-to-back wars with Diego Lopez. Yeah, maybe or with Volkanovski. Yeah, maybe their second fight wasn't that much of a war, but I mean, regardless, you go to back decision losses against the current and probably the best fucking featherweight champion of all time.
Yeah.
You're giving him a ranked 9. And then this is another thing as well. Think about it. This is probably the greatest, the most hyped up, the most anticipated fight card ever fucking made besides UFC 300. Because compare UFC 300 to some of the other cards that went on that year, UFC 300 ain't fucking shit. Look at the White House card. What other sporting event has been at the White House card?
0.
Exactly. Exactly. Why the fuck are we getting Bo fucking Nickel on the fucking White House card? Okay, I need to calm down here for a little bit because I'm getting a little loud. But you guys see my frustration. Before we go deeper, before we continue on with this main event and this recap, this is probably the most anticipated card in the last few years. And the only two good fights that we get on it is
The title fights.
the two title fights. I mean,
And
don't
one's
get me
not, and
wrong.
one is an interim,
Don't
not even a real title
don't
fight.
exactly.
Abolish the heavyweight division.
Don't get me wrong. The Roofy and Chandler fight, that's good. I like that. For the White House card though,
Yeah.
I don't know about
So,
that. Maybe a
so
co-main, in a pay-per-view. The other ones, exactly the same fucking thing. Co-mains in a pay-per-view, not the White House card. The White
yeah.
House card should have the
Americans,
elite of
first of
the
all.
elite. Exactly, Americans. And like I'm arguing, this was another thing I want is like I'm arguing with people on social media and like I literally asked, please give me a reason why Bo Nickel is on this fucking card. And they're saying shit like, well, he is very Trump supporting. He is a huge Trump supporter and he has spoken openly on how he feels about the American government. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Bo Nickel sucks. Bo Nickel is terrible. He sucks. I don't give a shit. He loses to RDR, and then he goes and gets a fucking win against Rodolfo Vieira in the third round. Oh, fuck
Oh.
you, Bo Nickel. Fuck you, honestly. Fuck you. And fuck the fact that Diego Lopez is fighting Steve Garcia. That is terrible. That is disgraceful. Roofy fighting. And then, oh, you know what? Matter of fact, I'm pissed about that too, Joe. Look at me. I'm pissed about that too, Joe. Rufy is fighting Michael Chandler after knocking out Rafael Fiziev, who on any given day, Rafael Fiziev would absolutely bitch Michael Chandler on any given day. So you're going to give Rufy Michael Chandler? No, bro.
Oh, Michael
This
Chandler is on
the
how big of a losing streak right now?
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's still
What the
ranked.
fuck? What the fuck is the White House card? The
My
White House card
twin,
is trash.
my
It
twin
is
did make a good
trash.
point that Colby Covington should have been on the card because he is probably the most Trump supporting guy. But Bo Nichols said that Colby didn't want it. Colby didn't want the
That is that
smoke.
is that
But
is
that's a,
that is
that
one
is pretty
thing.
distasteful. It's like Colby is somehow still ranked in the middleweight rankings and hasn't fought in over 2 years.
See, Bo Nickel versus Colby Covington would have been way better. Would
Yeah,
have been way better.
yeah.
But that's another thing as well. Is like I agree with that. Colby Covington being on the card would have made me
It would have
so
made
much
sense. It
happier
would,
than seeing
yeah,
Bo Nickel.
yeah,
Anyways, that is my opinion.
yeah.
Overall, I absolutely hate the fucking fact that Bo Nickel is on the white card, and I will never let that fucking
Need to
go.
get you a Bo Nickel hater shirt.
I I hate Bo Nickel. You're telling me he goes and he submits some fucking nobody in his debut, and then he knocks out Val Woodburn, a fucking landscaper who came off of a fucking phone call, fucking 3-day notice to go and fight Bo Nickel. You knock out Val Woodburn, and then you go and you fight RDR, and you get bitched. You get bitched. And then you go and you fight Rodolfo Vieira and you knock him out in the third round.
Dude.
And you're supposed to be some crazy hyped up prospect. I'm sorry, I am number one D1 fucking Bo Nickel hater right now. I am really going into it, Joe, and I
You're
apologize.
good. It
But
is a
fuck
recap,
you, Bo
however.
Nickel.
We're
I,
covering
I
news.
I don't care. I've had a few drinks. I've had a few drinks in me tonight. I hope you see this. I fucking I hate you.
I hate you,
I don't like
bud.
you. I don't like you, bud. I
Yeah.
don't like you.
My 2 cents on it is you know, there's a lot of people in the rankings. There's a lot of fights that could have been made. Whether you didn't make them because of maybe like maybe you're looking at it from like a political stance, like I wouldn't really know why you wouldn't have a guy like Islam on the card. You could have done Ilya Islam. You could have had Islam versus Michael Morales versus Ian Gary versus any of these fucking guys, and you don't go that route. I'm guessing, Kayla Harrison wasn't going to be healthy by the time the card rolled around because her and Amanda Nunes would have been another great fight to have on the card. It would have been the one and only women's fight I would have allowed on the card because I have a say as a fan. but but honestly, it felt like all these fighters were cherry picked by Trump, and it makes sense. You're doing on the White House lawn. You kind of want to have like a exclusive audience and make it something that you, as someone that's in the audience, want to watch. So maybe there was some sort of poll involved, but we'll leave it at that. Sorry, guys. We'll get back into this recap, cover the rest of the 326, and then if you ever want to debate with us, you can say something in the comments, and either I or Z will respond to you. It's been me on the TikToks right now, but we'll let you have it in the YouTube comments for sure. Next fight was Rob Font and Raul Rosas. This was another one-sided fight. This fight, what's funny, Z? This fight looked exactly like the main event fight. It was a wrestling masterclass, total elite grappler versus Rob Font, who he's pretty good everywhere. Obviously, his jab is one of the best jabs in the whole UFC. He's got great hands. Um, But Raul Rosas, I mean, he kinda just fucking Torres Finney'd him in that sense where he's, like, just 0 output, holding you down, and just making you have to grind every little piece of positioning that you want. And you get back up to your feet, guess what? You're back on your ass again. You're getting rode out again. You're just gonna be stuck. And it was like that for basically, oh, I don't know, 10 minutes out of a
I mean, look at
15-minute
that.
fight.
What is that?
Like,
Is that 16 out of 18 takedowns that he landed?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in
Mm,
the first few minutes of this fight, Rob Font looked good. He looked good when he was on the feet. Keywords, feet. When Rob Font was on the feet, he looked good. But Raul Rosas, he didn't like what he was seeing, and for the rest of the fight, Raul Rosas took him down and held him down. In the last few minutes of that fight is exactly like what Joe said. Raul Rosas was just looking for that control time to just be dominant and to hold him down. But you see it right there. 16 out of 18 takedowns. Holy fucking shit.
doesn't get more
Holy
dominant than
shit.
that.
That I'm pretty sure that's a new personal record for Raul Rosas in a single fight.
Mm,
God damn.
yeah.
16 out of 18. That's like fucking Hamzat level right there, Islam level.
Marab.
So exactly. So I mean, yeah, Raul Rosas did exactly what he needed to do. He had a game plan going in there, and
Yeah, he said he wanted to
that
knock him out, but it's like, you didn't really strike too much
yeah,
with them
you
on the
can't.
feet. I
I
mean,
mean, to be fair too, like you that's a hard matchup. That's a hard challenge to ask. I was on the Rob Font side of this, but
yeah, I was on the Raul Rosas.
at the end of the day, Raul Rosas, he saw what Rob Font was capable of, exactly like what you had compared it to with the main event.
Mhm.
Raul Rosas saw the differential, and he
So
implemented his game plan. So
yeah,
yeah, he
yeah,
went out there, got the win.
yeah. It's a big win for Rosas because now he, as a 21-year-old in the bantamweight division, one of the harder divisions in the UFC, is going to be
He's
ranked.
ranked.
He will be
Yeah,
ranked
that
come
is
Monday.
insane.
And
That is insane.
Rob Font, obviously, he's probably going to fall out of the rankings, which sucks because he is a journeyman. He's one of the older guys. It kind of just happens. It's a thing with time. But Rosas is really, really fucking young, so it's very impressive to see a guy like that. It's different. We're kind of in a new age now where all these young guys are kind of just like running shit. The flyweight division's a pretty good example of it. You got Tyra and Van running out the top, and both of them are literally our age, like 25 and under. Um,
Yeah.
I think Tyra's 26, but anyway. Um, Now Rosas called out a top 10 guy. He didn't say any guy. He just said anyone in the top 10 can get it. Uh, I don't know who you give him. Bantamweight's a busy division. It's kind of hard to like book these guys.
You
Um,
know who you give him?
Pull up the rankings right now, Z. See what you give him.
I know exactly who you give him.
Here, I can pull it up as
I
well.
know. No,
You
no,
you got
don't
it?
pull him up. Nope. I know exactly who you give him.
Who do you give him?
Peyton Talbot.
Mm. That would be so problematic though. Like
That would be very problematic.
like Talbot, we saw had a huge, huge problem with Barcelos, and he fought Cejudo, who didn't really go too heavy into the grappling with him. And obviously, Henry Cejudo's a gold medalist and whatnot. But you give him Raul Rosas, who we just see 16 out of 18 takedowns, a relentless fucking takedown machine. I don't know. I don't like
I
the
mean,
matchup too
I mean,
much.
I mean, I mean, you could give him Steve Urseg.
That would be all
Give him
right.
Steve Urseg.
But again, it's another
You
striker.
know, it is another striker. Yes,
There isn't really a
you
good
give him,
matchup for Raul Rosas, but the top 10 is like,
but
I don't know. It's
well,
hard.
fuck it. Give him Asu. Give him Asu Almayev.
That would be okay. Is Asu's a flyweight though?
But oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at flyweight. I thought I was looking at bantamweight. Give him, give him Vinicius. Fuck it, give him Vinicius.
No, give him Mario Batista.
See, the only reason why I say Payne Talbot too is because Payne Talbot isn't in the top 10 yet.
Where's he
He's
at?
in the top. He's in the top 15.
Yeah, I know he's ranked. Yeah. Um,
So, but
yeah.
but like you said, that is very hard. That is very hard.
Yeah.
Both of them are young prospects that, obviously the UFC would want to market off of and they would want to advertise off of. So they wouldn't want to make that matchup just yet. Like for example, Corey Sandhagen versus fucking Sean O'Malley. So they don't want to make that type of matchup, which is absolutely fucking dog shit. I didn't want to get into it. Let's move into the next fight. Is
Yeah.
this was pretty fucking cut and dry for Raul Rosas.
Mhm.
Um, Getting into the next one though, Cal Barallo versus RDR. I'm not gonna lie, for a second there, it was getting really scary. It's really, really scary for a second.
Wow, he got outstruck by a lot.
That is insane to
What?
see. Cause like, I mean, actually, no, not really. Cause I mean, like in the first and second round, I
Really?
saw it.
Was
I
it that
saw, I saw
much?
RDR. I saw RDR being more of the volume striker.
Wow,
I
that is
feel
actually
like
crazy.
I feel like with Kyle though, Kyle looked way more dominant. He looked way more dominant, and
Wow.
whenever Kyle would land and he would put it on RDR, you could visually see RDR start to.
Yeah,
It
his
looked like
strikes had more
RDR was about
impact.
to go out. Exactly.
Yeah.
So in this
Wow.
fight, I don't know what you would give to either fighter at the end of it. Like I don't.
I mean, I
Maybe
said a
maybe you give
split.
maybe you give RDR
Rounds.
fluffy
Oh,
RDR.
oh, oh, fight
Maybe
wise, right?
something. Yeah, fight wise, maybe RDR fluffy. Kyle,
Kyle called
fuck
out
it, bro.
DDP.
Kyle DDP or Kyle Strickland. Um, I
Dude,
don't
that
know.
that dude, the
I
top
don't.
of the middleweight's so busy.
Yeah, I don't know what would be matchups for these guys. But it was a really close fight. These rounds were really close. Thirty
Yeah.
twenty seven all the way.
I don't like that.
Um,
I
I'm not
disagree with that
100% sure
heavily.
about that. I think it was Kyle round 1 and round 3. I
That's
think
what I had.
RDR looked really good in round 2. Cuz that's where most of that volume came from as well, was in round
Yeah.
2. RDR was he was landing more combinations compared to Kyle,
And he was
but
busier in the clinch.
yeah, way more busier in the clinch, but Kyle ended up edging it out. You know, all the judges thought he did enough to obviously fucking smoke RDR on the scorecards.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
so it's a good win for Kyle because now he's just a step closer to the title shot after coming off that
yeah,
loss versus Imavov at the end of last year on the Paris card. Now, let's get to the main event. Before we do, guys, if you haven't already, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe. Go check out our other platforms. We got our TikTok, we got our Instagram, we got our Twitter. TikTok's blowing up right now. I just talked about the White House one. So thank you guys for your support as always. With that being said, let's close out the recap. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira 2 for the BMF title. And before we get into it though, Z, tell us about this parlay that you cashed tonight that
all
rounded out
right,
the main
guys.
card.
So, um, I ended up making a lot of my plays before today. I again, we post all of our picks. We post all of our picks in our Discord. Please go join our Discord. It is completely free. We don't charge you guys for anything. We are not like one of those YouTube channels who will charge you $150 a month and then go fucking 2-14 in the last two events. We are
Yeah.
not like that. Yes, we may have a couple of heaters that come out of our pile of parlays that we come up with, or the pile of parlays that I come up with. I may have a couple of heaters, but at the end of the day, they're all free. They were all free. I post all my picks in the Discord. Joe posts all of his picks in the Discord for no charge, free of
Yeah.
charge. Anyways, today I went to the casino and I played a little bit of blackjack. Who likes blackjack? Who doesn't like blackjack? You know,
Jack. Rainy Nakamura doesn't.
Mozzie likes blackjack. Uh, we fucking. I made a couple of parlays before I left, and one of them had consisted of Bruno Ferreira versus Rodriguez. Bruno Ferreira versus Gregory Rodriguez. Fight not starting round 3. Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson. Fight not starting round 3. Raul Rosas versus Rob Font. Fight going to the distance. And Kyle Bralo by decision. And then I had Charles Oliveira money line. So overall, that was my only ticket that had hit, but it covers all the other ones that I lost.
By a lot.
Like I had, yeah, by a lot.
Yeah.
Um, I'm probably up about 50 units on the event.
It was a big
Um,
hit, yeah. I was
it was a pretty big hit. It was 30, I would say 30 units for
it was
70
three
units.
units. Three
Or
units.
yeah, three units for 70 units.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like I was telling Joe, you know, we have a lot of these runners, we have a lot of
A lot of
these
these
sperm cells.
swimmers.
Yeah, we have a lot of these sperm cells going to the egg. You know, at the end of the night,
Only
we
one's
only have
gotta
a
make it.
couple. We only have a couple that make it.
Yeah,
But
and to build off that analogy, I was the infertile gambler tonight. I ended up being one leg Larry, as some people call it. Uh, I had this BMF fight to not go the distance, and to build off that, let's get into the recap here. So, I mean, if you can read this, it kind of speaks for itself what happened here in a BMF title fight. Uh, first of all, when we talk about the BMF, you think of these guys that are just like strikers that are like savages on the feet that respect a good scrap, like Nate Diaz or a Masvidal, Max Holloway, Gaethje, Poirier, like all these guys that have been in contention for this BMF title. And not to discredit Charles, because what Charles did is what you do when you want to win. And that's kind of the problem that the BMF title kind of ran into, being stuck in a weight class and not being and the BMF title not being an open weight title where you can have anyone fight anyone, because that's how the BMF should work. You're the baddest motherfucker. Like, there's only one title. It should be an open weight thing. For this to only be something sanctioned inside the lightweight division, and it's two guys that are very high in the rankings and are kind of fighting for, future title contention. You get fights like this where it's problematic because there's gonna come a point in time where someone's not gonna respect the scrap. They're gonna, do whatever it takes to win. And unfortunately, Charles was that one that came along and kinda ruined the fun of the BMF title from what we've seen, be set as a precedent beforehand. He was obviously very dominant, right? 5 of 13 takedowns, but all 5 takedowns were in all 5 rounds and built 20 minutes of control time in every single fucking round, you know, 4 plus minutes each round if you average it out. And it's an impressive win. Charles absolutely fucking manhandled Max Holloway, which is something that no one can say they've ever done. Like, yeah, you can talk about Max Holloway's resume where has he really fought like a real grappler? And the answer is like, I, I say no. Would you say no, Z?
I'd say no.
I'd say no. And so he gets his first real elite grappling test, and he just gets definitely outclassed. Um,
Yeah, he fought Ilya, but like Ilya didn't want to fucking grapple at all.
Yeah, and really ever since Ilya came to the UFC, he has not really been a grappler, and that's kinda like what he built his whole record on was being, like, a good grappler, and he has, like, a lot of submission wins, but ever since he's been in the UFC, it's been knockout, 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 like, he obviously changed his game, and, yeah, so, like, Holloway has not really fought a real, like, I could say grappler, um, and Charles just fucking he put the work on him, and he did everything that he could, and, after this I think they need to redo how they do this BMF title. Like, I hope they, that Charles gets to defend it, but I hope they kinda change how they go about doing these fights because obviously, where it is right now, it impacts the rankings for the lightweight because both these guys are lightweights. Like I said, I think it needs to be open weight. I think you need to have guys that can come up from featherweight to fight for it and it not impact rankings whatsoever because it's just like a fun fight. It's like an exhibition fight, right? Or you have, Charles can go up and defend it against, what would be from lightweight? Um, a welterweight.
Sure.
Yeah.
Charles moving up to welterweight.
Well, I mean, that sounds absurd, right? But that's what I'm talking about, right? Like you have a BMF
Yeah.
title, and it already originally was a 170 title. Like Diaz, and them were all welterweights. So that's my 2 cents on it. I mean, how do you feel about it? I mean, let's spark some
Dude, my
controversy here.
honestly, my 2 cents on it is abolish it. Get rid of
Yeah,
it. Get rid of the BMF belt. Because I mean, it's exactly like what you just said. I mean, it was based off of two dudes who were straight strikers,
yeah,
straight creative strikers in Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz.
yeah.
And then it moved on fucking to Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier, and then Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway.
Mhm.
Those are the type of fights you've been seeing since the BMF belt has been made. You
Yeah,
know,
it's a gimmick
as
belt.
as
That's what I call it, a
as
gimmick belt.
much as a fucking fan, as much as a fan as I am of Charles, man, it was a boring fight. It was a
Yeah,
boring fight, 100%. Yes, okay, to be fair, I will say this. Compared to compared to
Hamzat and DDP.
the yeah, compared to the no, not even that. Compared to the Islam and JDM and DDP and Hamzat, this was a more impressive fight than those two. Charles was headhunting for those submissions. He even though he was on top, he was grappling, he was sitting in those dominant positions. He was looking for that finish. He was
He was
throwing neck
trying a
cranks.
lot.
He was throwing neck cranks. There was that one fucking time he had Max Holloway and a nasty neck crank. It looked like Max Holloway was looking at his ass. Max Holloway was so fucking turned to his side. It looked like he was looking at his fucking ass, at his shoulders.
Yeah.
Any other person would have fucking tapped to that, because even though it's not really choking him out, that shit hurts. Try fucking doing this real quick, as hard as you can, as hard as you can. Just turning.
Yeah. No thanks.
I mean, imagine someone's forearm just around your fucking cheek,
Oh, but
just
bro, he was being
cranking that.
dirty. Like he was like glove in the face, fucking just
Yeah,
smashing
bro,
his bro.
just straight
Oh,
fucking.
that'd make me pissed. That'd make me tweak, dude. But
Oliveira bitched him.
yeah.
Oliveira dominated from start to finish. Oliveira had that game plan, and I mean, exactly like how I had posted on my socials. What do you expect? What do you expect when you get a dude who literally has the most significant strikes in the UFC? Every single fight, almost every single fight he's been in has had over 100 plus significant strikes. And you're Charles Oliveira, and your specialty is fucking submissions. You have the most submission wins in the UFC. You are the backpack of all backpacks.
Mhm.
What is your game plan going into that fight? You're gonna take Max Holloway down and fucking control him
You
on
gotta
the
take that
ground.
butt.
You're gonna fucking hold him on the ground and put him into a place that he is not comfortable in.
Yeah.
If you hated that fight, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
that's MMA for you.
Yeah.
That's
I
MMA for you.
mean, what I can say is don't always listen to the commentators. You are allowed to have your own opinion and you don't have to listen to these guys. You know, Cormier made a very good point. A wrestler, a very, very credentialed wrestler, even mentioned it. He at the end of the fight, he was like, "This is the BMF title, and nothing that." Like, he kind of already said what I said, not to take anything away from Charles, but this should be like an entertaining title fight. Like this should be, a striker's delight. And Joe Rogan goes ahead and says, "You're a casual if you say that." Basically, like that's kind of the easiest way to summarize it. He's like, "If you think this fight's boring, you're a casual." It's like, no, you can think that this fight's boring. The mass public, anyone who watches UFC can agree that we have had a very shit 2026. And this is one of the fights that I was looking forward to because I'm like, oh, we're gonna get some fucking pure violence, and we don't get the violence that we're expecting of a BMF title fight. It's disappointing for sure. Disappointing, big time. Um, but like I said, that's just kind of the problem with the gimmick title that BMF is, and they need to just get rid of it. I mean, it has sparked huge debate on Twitter. If you're in the Twitter community at all, you see it all the time. Or you're seeing it all night. Um, but yeah, that's it for the recap, guys. We really appreciate if you stuck around. This got really long, but I feel like there's a lot that had to be talked about in this one. I think this card
Oh,
brought up
100%.
this is probably one of the worst numbered events we've seen in a while, and it's also a card that had a lot of controversy on it. It definitely sparks a lot of debate. So, go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments if you have anything to share about this card. And congrats to those that hit parlays. If you did, if you tailed any of ours from the Discord, we appreciate it. But yeah, go ahead and go down into the description below. You'll see the link down there to join so we don't miss out on next times. And we do have occasional watch parties. You may end up muted if you're saying some wacko shit, just so you know. But you are welcome to watch. That's the beauty of it. But yeah, with that being said, guys, we'll see you guys in the next one for the Tuesday card, which is, let's see what it is, the Emmett and Vallejos card. Okay, sure.
I'm gonna be honest before we cut it out. This next card, the next two cards. Oh boy, oh
Yeah,
boy,
yeah.
I'm excited for them. And then the last one of this month is gonna be UFC Seattle, which
Which we'll
we
be
will
at.
be at.
Yep. And
So
yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, don't expect much for next week's card as far as a betting side. I mean, at least out of me personally, Z might have something, but I definitely won't have anything for this card. But I'll be sure to at least give you guys good breakdowns and whatnot. But yeah, that's it for the recap for this week. So with that being said, guys, stay cozy. Appreciate you guys. Check out our socials if you haven't already. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.